products. So my girls who don't like to waste products, don't like to feel it on the skin too much, this is for you. This is my 3 a.m. call time makeup look, and we know we're going right to the venue to sound check, right? You don't know about when you do those big type of tours, especially early morning shows. Sound check is at like 4:30 or 3 a.m. or something crazy like that. So oftentimes that would mean just getting to the hotel after rehearsal, getting a quick shower and turn around, barely a little sleep, making sure your clothes were at least comfortable and decent enough to carry you through all of the sound checking that you would need to do before you actually sat down for hair and makeup. Now, everyone is not me, okay? But there's inevitably a lot of social media going around. Some people like to be barefaced. I like to have a little something. Also, a little something just feels like I'm at work. I don't know. If you see me barefaced, I'm either about to put it on or I really, really, really am resting. So for me, putting on a little tiny face just marks that transition into work. So I would almost always show up to the sound check with just a little something on my face because it clicked my brain on to play the bass. It clicked my brain on to be around people, you know, it clicked my brain on to be in that social space. So if you're someone like me and you need a face that lets you feel present and lets you feel polished without doing too much, that's what this look is going to be. And while I'm putting that look on, I'm going to talk a little bit about the music industry, my thoughts and how I feel, because a lot has happened in 2025. And I feel like what it means to be an independent artist has shifted in so many ways. And the landscape has shifted in so many ways. So we're going to do some makeup and some music chats and, you know, have a good time. Eat 'em. Come to the front, Miss Girl. This croissant au beurre, if you speak French and I don't, I'm so sorry if I absolutely destroyed that. But croissant with butter, honey, she's tea. Okay, first of all, this was my first time trying the Les Chouchous Lip Softening Balm, and I had heard a lot of really good things. But I love the smell because it smells exactly like a croissant with butter. Like, it's uncanny. And as a gluten-free baddie, I love anything that smells like real bread. And one of the things that I miss about living in Europe was the quality of the bread and how it did not upset my tummy. And so even, I swear, I will just sit here and sniff it without even putting it on. It's got this really nice metal tip applicator. All of the Les Chouchous balms do, which is just so cooling on the lips too. So it just feels like luscious to apply, and it has like the subtlest gold shimmer that just makes the lips look pretty. Like, it's all that I have on now, just this and clean skin, and it just makes me feel a bit more put together. Whew. Okay, so if I was going for easy breezy, dewy, awake, illuminated skin, I would get some sort of hydrating serum. For me, it's usually the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Glow Serum, and this is in the shade Fresh Pressed. Now, what I will say is this is going to look best always on fresh skin. When I say fresh skin, I mean washed, you know, moisturized. You've gone through your steps, you've exfoliated, you've done the thing, right? Like, that's always going to give you the best glow. But we don't always have that time, so just give your face a good wash, right? At least be starting on clean, hydrated skin. But if you're like me and sometimes your skin can feel a bit dull, especially as you are traveling or stress or certain hormonal shifts, then starting under the eyes and in the center of the face with an illuminating and hydrating serum really, really wakes me up. And for me, one of the main things that I sometimes struggle with is puffiness. So I like to really get in here. You can hear me sniffing. I can feel my sinuses draining. I know it's sexy, oh my God. But this is a part of the makeup tutorial because you want those cheekbones to pop. Give them a little lymphatic massage. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And that just wakes up the skin, and you can see the beautiful sheen, hydrated, dewy, fresh face. Honestly, if I'm running errands and it's not work, if I'm just chilling, this might be it for me. Oh, the label is rubbed off, forgive me, that means she's well loved. But this is the Got To Be Glue Brow and Edge Freeze. Okay, look at her. She comes out like this. All right, and this is what I have brushing my brow hairs up, right? So quick tip to look polished, brush those brow hairs. Don't let them be unruly, right? Start with a little underpainting while we chat music. This is the House Labs Precision Sculpt Shaping Balm Contouring Stick and Taper. Okay. All right, so I have been talking to a lot of artists and musicians lately, and everyone is freaking out because of AI. And I completely understand, because people's likenesses, their songs are being stolen, their voices are being replicated. It's quite frightening, and honestly, it can make you anxious as an artist, like, well, where is the value in the art? I've seen very popular artists speak out because there was an AI artist that was signed to like a deal for a couple $1,000,000, and to think that a computer can be signed for millions of dollars. So essentially, one person who's programmed a software that's been programmed off of the voices of real artists who have dedicated their lives to this can be signed to a deal. It just really has shifted the game. That, and watching people talk about how their projects were completely removed from streaming, how they had invested a great deal of money into their debut projects, just to see them be placed on playlists that had bots streaming. So like automated streams, which by the way is not something uncommon in the music industry. I can say, as an independent artist who release music myself and funds myself at the moment, I have had many people slide in my DMs or send me an email or meet me in person and say, oh, you know, for the right amount of money, essentially, even if that's not said out loud, that's the subtext, that for the right amount of money, we can get you on this insert very popular streaming playlist here, insert very popular, you know, playlist on these platforms there. And that is the subtext, that if you pay the right amount of money or you know the right person, you can be on these playlists, and that they can guarantee you a certain amount of streams. And they never quite went into the details of where those streams were coming from. And for me, it was always very suspicious, because it's like, how can you guarantee it if you're not manufacturing it? I'm using Danessa Myricks Color Fix Nudes in Nude 8, and you see I've just put a tiny little pinch on my hand. I might put a second, but we're just gonna base my eyes. This is what I would do if I didn't feel like too much shadow, but I just wanted to even out any darkness on my lid and open up my eye. I'm gonna show you momentarily. This is pretty much my no makeup makeup, but like all the things I would do to look a little more awake and a little fresher, right? And you can see how pretty that goes on. And it just neutralizes any darkness on the lid. And mind you, my natural darkness on my lid can be quite aesthetic, and I wear it well. And so sometimes I leave it. But neutralizing that darkness, as you can see, just gives the face a little lift and a little polish. But yes, with all the drama with streaming, it's like, Streams are no longer the metric. And I was never really a fan. And I'm not saying that streaming will become obsolete. I'm more so saying it's no longer the metric for successful or profitable independence. And it really never was, because you look at this industry a lot of the times and you realize and you question, like, did they ever mean for the artist to be profitable? And oftentimes the answer is no, looking at that, especially depending on your intersections. But now I think that the propaganda and the veil around streaming being a viable metric and alternative to record sales is finally dissipating. And that's making me happy, because I've always been a fan of real community. And I think that when you have real community and you have people who will support you, that is when, as an artist, you really make a viable and comfortable living. I'm gonna tight line. Look, okay? I'm going to show you what I do. Don't poke your eye out. It will take practice. You might, be a little nervous. It takes practice. But if there was any secret, sneaky tip for looking more awake and looking more just bushy-tailed and bright-eyed, it would be a tight line. When I'm not wearing any heavy makeup, when I'm not wearing a lot of makeup, a tight line is still probably my go-to. And for a tight line, you want a creamy and dark pencil. And for extra sneaky points, okay, I only have black on me right now, but for extra sneaky points, you're gonna do the same step with a dark, almost coffee bean, espresso bean liner. Still creamy, still pigmented, but rather than black, you're going to use a brown. And that is like the makeup that you wear when you want to lie and say you're wearing no makeup, because that's really what we're doing here, aka oops makeup. The energy that my first single, Oops, was inspired by. It's called Oops, and it's about that energy, just effortlessly stunting on people, effortlessly being fly. And this is the makeup look I see when I think about that. All right? And look, okay, I don't know how to explain this. Just watch. I don't know how to explain that. Under the lash line, I'm going to do one so you can see the difference. Look at that. Look at that. Okay. And it's not enough eyeliner. Now we can pull that in the corner if we really need to. Go clean that up. But it's not enough eyeliner for you to clock that she's wearing eyeliner. Okay, where are my elder emos? Because you can build on this. This is also the basis of a smoky eye, okay? So now a lot of your smoky eyes look crazy because you've got all this dark liner, right? You've got all this dark liner on your lid, but you have not done your tight line. And so your tight line is up there. Gonna make sure I get my inner corner. Your waterline is down there. And I've always felt like real community. Okay, I love this concealer. This is my first time using it, but I've seen it put on other people and I've been obsessed. This is the Makeup Forever HD Skin Full Cover, and I'm using the shade 3N47. She's waterproof, she's full coverage. So we're only gonna take a little bit because we want a very natural, very blendable look. So we're just gonna take a little bit and brighten up under these eyes. Everyone's freaking out because we're competing with robots, and I'm not gonna lie, I fell out and cried and did all of my things, but I felt this weird sense of relief because I did not like and I do not enjoy the drop every 6 to 8 weeks corporate machine of it all. I don't. I really personally prefer and wish that the resourcing was there, right, for artists and independent artists to make the art that's on their heart and in their soul at the pace that they need to. And I understand that once you're in a deal or once you even choose to be in the professional industry, you do have to keep a pace, because keeping a pace is how you maintain attention. And attention is record sales. Attention is a lot of things, or so they preach. But this, I guess, is the crux of my thesis, which is that the streaming economy has proven that attention is not record sales, right? We've proven through the short form economy and people going viral and people having these quick viral moments and saying my song is viral on this platform and viral on that platform, but I cannot afford to pay my rent. We've seen that. They're streaming my song, millions of streams, but I can't afford my bills. We see it day in and day out. And so I was always suspicious of a model that convinces the artist to sell their life's work for 0.0007 cents and being known and seen versus empowering the artist to remember the power of community, and that we really can build community with, you know, the fans that love you, local shows. Like I said, I've been blessed to know so many talented musicians and artists that I've really, maybe when they got that break, it wasn't on accident. It wasn't off a viral song, because this was their life's work and they had dedicated themselves to that. So when the time came, it was like, oh, of course. It wasn't like some surprise. Do you see how beautiful the concealer blended out, by the way? Again, just enough to brighten. We're not doing full beat. We're doing luminous. We're doing skin-like. We're doing easy. Okay, and notice I have not gone in with foundation yet. We're about to do that now. This is the Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin Foundation, and I'm 19C, and I'm going to use a tiny, tiny little pump. Not too much. Maybe like half a pump, to be honest. And really, I wish I had like a fluffy brush. Not fluffy, but like a flat brush. But I'm going to take this same brush that I actually did my contour with and just buff it into the places it's needed, not even all over, if that makes sense. So I guess you could call this like an underpainting type of moment, but I'm only putting product where it's needed. And like I said, I might go in with another pump, but I disperse my pumps very small like that. I try to start with as little product as possible and then build my way up, especially when I'm going for this kind of light, easy kind of look. But yeah, as someone who really values community, I'm excited because I feel like for every push and every situation, there is a counterculture, if that makes sense. So if everyone is listening to robot music, I do believe that music made by people becomes the next, you know, exciting and almost luxury good. And as someone who has a comprehensive education in music, and I say that because my love for music is not just about like clicks or flicks or likes. Not that I'm opposed to them. Please like, click, and flick, and subscribe on here, okay? And to all the things that I do, I really do appreciate the support. But the love for music and the understanding of creating a legacy and a career for me goes deeper than just a viral moment. And I think that in a way, it being exposed, just going in one more time to smooth this, but in a way, it being exposed as a type of artifice is kind of refreshing for me. Do you all feel that like slightly refreshing feeling? I'm gonna go in with this Laura Mercier powder and translucent honey, that under the eye. But yeah, as an independent artist, I'm not gonna lie, I did have my tantrum about it, and I still have my tantrums about it. But it feels freeing. It feels like now it's anybody's game. For those of us for whom it felt like, you see how blurring that is, by the way? Okay? Powder will really make something look polished. That's all I'll say. You don't need too much, but knowing how to apply just the right amount It really will polish the look. But yeah, for those of us for whom the pace of a streaming focused economy did not excite, this has opened the door for new and creative ways of releasing and rolling out. And I do think that that's what the industry needs more than anything, is new and creative rollouts. The problem with that, of course, is that new and creative rollouts cost money. So again, to all my independent artists in the trenches, I see you, I love you. And that's why if you're watching this, watch, okay? Subscribe so that we can really get in there and make some music, because honey, like, the independent girlies, we're out here doing the thing, okay? We're doing the thing for ourselves. So this is the new Danessa Myricks Liquid Blurring Balm Mattifying Setting Spray with Upsolite technology, okay? Danessa is known to be an Upsolite girly. It's in a lot of her products. I believe the Blurring Balm Powder, the Groundwork palettes, I believe, those soft, squishy kind of feeling ones are Upsolite based. And then also I believe the blurring blush, the blushes as well, all of which I love. So this liquid blurring balm mattifying setting spray is supposed to give us that same blurring and mattifying effect that we get from blurring balm powder, but in a liquid. And like I said, in my routine, this is where I would go in with the spray. Oh, I like that mister. Okay. It's light. It's pretty. Oh, I actually like that. And you see how it just, you see that? How it just melts down the powders? I'm loving the way the setting spray is wearing. Ooh, and the powder is sitting on top of it. Nice, Danessa, too. This is the Juvia's Place bronzer. I'm taking this shade up here, and I'm the shade dark. Okay? And I'm just adding the lightest touch of bronzer, not too much. You see how big and fluffy that brush is? You don't want too much, or else they're gonna clock your tea. Or else they're gonna clock your tea. And go across the forehead. Go where you would be bronzed, babe. Go forth and be bronzed. I'm teaching bass lessons in person IRL in Atlanta. If you need a bass lesson, come hit me up, send me a message, and we can get you set up. I'm not going to let my artistry be stolen by hateful people in positions of power. I'm not going to do that. Touch of blush. This is also Juvia's Place, Volume 3, a pinch and lower placement. You see that? Oh, not too much. More than that, and you're on the edge. You're on the edge. And you see my placement? Do you see her? Okay, she's not high. Think like how the girls were talking like boyfriend blush when they were draping her. You can see it more on that side. That's a more pigmented. I'm gonna have to blend her. This side is getting RT clocked. But yeah, boyfriend blush, draping, not too much. Shiseido Lash Curler, I Owe You My Life. Hooded Eye Girlies. Curly is some curly, some straight lash girlies. Like almond eye girlies. Do yourself a favor. Just invest the coin. Do it. Fenty Hella Thick in Cause I'm Black. Again, if you really wanted to go natural of the natural girlies, I would suggest brown mascara. But a little mascara never hurt anybody. Out to you, Riri. You really know what the girls need. Okay, you know what the girls need when it comes to a mascara, because this eats down, down, down. So now I don't want to hear any, I don't know how to do my base. I don't know how to do my base. How do I do my foundation? And I put you on music industry game. Wow, 2 for 1 special. Where are you getting that level of value? Nowhere. So if you haven't hit the subscribe button, I don't know what's wrong with you. You should have hit it a long time ago. Don't forget your bottom lashes. I know some of you are scared of bottom lashes, but I'm not. That girl. Na 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 na. SATAR'RRA's that girl. Shout out Eve for real. One of my OG beauty and glamour inspirations. Like, I saw her and I said, yeah, girl, you are really a doll. You are really that girl. And just the right amount of edge, like, yum. We love it. We live for it. I'm going to use Gel by MAC. That liner was Chestnut. Hello, classic gel. Okay. Doing it for the 90s aunties with gel. You see that? Don't be afraid of a frost. We were like, oh my God, I'm turning into my auntie. And maybe I am. Okay, but bring it back because I feel like this just gives 90s vibe. Right back in with that Edam gloss. You thought I was playing? What? Just gonna pop that in the center, and it's got a little gold sheen anyway, so it's really gonna make that gold in the gel just pop. Pop that in the center. Ew. Ew. Ooh, pretty. She's pretty. She's natural, honey. She's ready to go. Okay? She's light. She's pretty. She's delicate in the skin finish. We're obsessed. So she's pretty. It's the oops beat, okay? It's the oopsie, delicate, pretty.